In this application, we talk about the lottery. The lottery is a total ripoff. After factoring the odds of winning, the expected value of spending $1 on the lottery is minus 50 cents. That is, on average, you lose 50 cents for each dollar you bet. If you had 100 pennies and you were thinking of buying a lottery ticket, you'd be better off just throwing 49 of those pennies into the sewer and calling it a day. Yet lotteries are wildly popular. What accounts for this popularity? After all, from our consumer theory section, we assume that people like consuming more stuff, which means more money is always better. Here are 4 theories as to why people burn money on the lottery. First, maybe people are risk-loving. We thought people didn't like risk, but maybe we have it wrong. Maybe folks like risk. But we can disprove this explanation easily. Folks make lots of decisions every day to avoid risk. The same folks who hold insurance also play the lottery. People like health insurance or a warranty on a new car. So it can't just be that they're risk-loving. A second explanation is that sometimes people are risk-averse, but sometimes they're risk-loving. That is, maybe folks are mostly risk-averse, but it's different when we're talking about a $500 million lottery pot. Maybe when the amount gets life-changing, people move from risk-averse to risk-loving. The problem with this explanation is that it isn't how most people play the lottery. In fact, while the big pots get all the attention, most of the money spent at the lottery, and gambling more generally, is on small stakes, like scratch-offs where you might win $500. Certainly be nice to win, but it won't change your life. So why would folks buy health insurance to make sure the doctor doesn't cost them $500, but they can gamble to try to win $500? Doesn't make sense. A third explanation is that gambling is just for entertainment. Maybe people get direct utility from gambling. You could think of your utility function including not only pizza and cookies, but also the adrenaline rush that you get from the prospect of winning or losing. In this world, it's not just that people are risk-loving. It's that the low expected return you get is just the price people are willing to pay to have fun gambling. One final explanation is that people don't know what they're doing, or at least they're misinformed. It's actually rather hard to figure out the odds for some of these games, particularly when there are many people playing, so you might share your winnings. So folks may simply think that they're getting a better deal than they are. For this reason, some people say that the lottery is just a tax on people who are bad at math. Unfortunately, it's basically impossible to tell which theory is true. Are people playing the lottery because they get a benefit from the entertainment value? Or are they making a mistake with the math and thinking incorrectly that the lottery is a better deal than it actually is? The answer has important implications for government policy. If people are getting enjoyment from gambling, then perhaps the government should be supporting gambling. Remember, one of the goals of the government is to redistribute to the needy. If we do so through taxing the wealthy, then we give rise to a deadweight loss. But if people want to gamble and end up losing money to the government, then the lottery is in some sense a voluntary tax. In this view, people are going to gamble no matter what, whether the government gets in the game or not. By setting up the lottery, the government gets a share of that activity, which lets it lower taxes elsewhere. That's a good deal. On the other hand, if people are making mistakes with the math or are misinformed, then the government should not be encouraging this activity. This is particularly true given that it is the poor who spend the most and therefore lose the most on the lottery. One study found that low-income people who play the lottery can spend up to 20% of their income on lottery tickets. So this is a really difficult issue. These people are either using a lot of their money because it's fun, and that's what the utility function says, or they're making a real mistake. In any case, the lottery gives us a good test case to see how people think about uncertainty.